Welcome to Valuable Chillar, the place where small change can lead to big discoveries. In today's episode, we're diving into some of the most extraordinary Lincoln cents ever to leave the U.S. Mint. These aren't your everyday pocket coins. Each one has a story of unusual production, striking errors, or historic moments that make them worth a fortune to collectors. We'll walk through 5 different cents that, because of rare minting mishaps or unique materials, have reached prices in the hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. You'll learn how to spot the telltale signs, why history matters as much as condition, and what collectors look for when hunting down these treasures. Let's start with a coin from 2009 that celebrates Abraham Lincoln's bicentennial and holds one of the boldest mint errors of modern times. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent with double die reverse has stunned collectors, with one circulated example selling for about $975,000 at auction. This penny was issued to honor 2 milestones, the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent itself. That year, the Mint released 4 new reverse designs showing different stages of Lincoln's life. Our coin comes from the Denver Mint and features the professional life design, Lincoln standing before the Illinois state capitol. What makes this coin exceptional is its dramatic doubling on the reverse. Lincoln's figure, shoulders, and the architectural columns behind him show clear, bold doubling, easily seen without magnification. Fewer than 50 examples of this error are believed to exist, which makes each surviving coin highly sought after. The obverse still carries Victor David Brenner's famous portrait of Lincoln facing right with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and 2009 with a D mint mark to the right. Even though the example sold was circulated with light scratches, small marks, and slight wear on Lincoln's jaw, the doubling remained unmistakable. That clarity is what collectors value most, authenticity and boldness of the error over surface perfection. For collectors, the takeaway is clear. Check all 2009 Lincoln cents carefully, especially those with the professional life reverse. A visible double die could be hiding in plain sight, and even circulated examples can be worth extraordinary sums if verified as genuine. The 1964 Lincoln Memorial cent, struck on a transitional off-metal planchet, is another jaw-dropping rarity, with one authenticated example bringing in roughly $925,000 at auction. At first glance, this penny can look ordinary, even discolored or dirty, but its true story reveals one of the most intriguing errors of the 1960s. During 1964, the Philadelphia Mint was under intense pressure to produce vast numbers of coins for both domestic use and foreign governments. In that rush, a small number of Lincoln cents were mistakenly struck on leftover planchets intended for foreign coinage. These blanks contained a higher level of nickel than the standard copper alloy, which caused the finished cents to darken dramatically over time. Because of that, most were spent like normal pennies and went unnoticed for decades. On the obverse, you'll still see Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Lincoln facing right with "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1964 at the right. Since the coin was minted in Philadelphia, there is no mint mark beneath the date. The reverse retains the familiar Lincoln Memorial design adopted in 1959 with "United States of America" at the top, "E Pluribus Unum" above the memorial, and 1 cent at the bottom. The example sold at auction had a dirty, almost black surface but sharp underlying details. Lincoln's hair, cheek, jacket folds, and the memorial's columns still visible. Its dark tone and unusual composition, confirmed through metallurgical testing, were the very clues that signaled its rarity. For serious numismatists, that unique alloy and the clear documentation matter far more than flawless surfaces. For collectors, the takeaway is powerful. Not every dirty or discolored cent is worthless. When a penny shows an odd weight, strange tone, or different feel, it's worth a closer look or even professional testing. Transitional and off-metal strikes like this can lurk in change jars for decades, and authentication is the key to unlocking their value. The 1956 Lincoln wheat cent with a dramatic double die obverse has captured collector attention for decades, with one certified example realizing about $515,000 at auction. This coin is a post-war Denver Mint standout, representing a time when billions of pennies were struck each year, but only a tiny handful emerged with significant errors. At first glance, it looks like a typical wheat cent. On the obverse, you'll see Victor David Brenner's familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right, "In God We Trust," curving across the top, Liberty to the left, and the date 1956 to the right, sitting above a small D mint mark. But under closer inspection, this rare variety reveals strong doubling on the obverse. The date, the word liberty, and even parts of the motto all show clear doubled impressions. This doubling resulted from a misalignment during the hubbing process when the working die was struck twice at slightly different angles. The reverse retains the classic wheat ears design used from 1909 to 1958, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America with E pluribus unum at the top. While the coin that sold was only in good condition, lightly worn on Lincoln's cheek, jaw, and the wheat stalks, the doubled details were still bold and unmistakable. In cases like this, collectors value the distinctiveness and authenticity of the error more than pristine surfaces. The 1950s were a period of immense production at the U.S. Mint, and quality control sometimes lagged behind quantity. As a result, a small run of doubled dies escaped into circulation and were used in everyday commerce for years before the variety was recognized. That survival story adds to the mystique of each piece, making them not just coins, but witnesses to mid-century American life. For collectors, the takeaway is simple but important. Even a circulated or modest-grade coin can be highly desirable if the variety is rare enough. Always check the date and lettering of 1956 D wheat cents for sharp doubling, especially on Liberty and the numerals of the date, because these are the diagnostic clues that transform an ordinary cent into a six-figure treasure. The 1965 Lincoln Memorial cent struck on an experimental transitional off-metal planchet has become one of the most sought-after modern rarities, with an authenticated example bringing about $955,000 at auction. At first glance, this coin appears heavily worn and even unattractive, but its true identity reveals an extraordinary moment in U.S. mint history. During the mid-1960s, the mint was overhauling U.S. coin compositions, moving away from 90% silver and experimenting with aluminum and copper-nickel alloys to cut costs. Amid this testing, a few non-standard planchets slipped into regular cent production at the Philadelphia Mint in 1965. Because Philadelphia cents carried no mint mark, these error coins looked almost identical to normal pieces except for their lighter weight and unusual color hidden under years of circulation grime. The obverse carries Victor David Brenner's enduring portrait of Lincoln with "In God We Trust" above, Liberty to the left, and the date 1965 to the right. Since there was no mint mark that year, the space below the date is blank. The reverse retains the Lincoln Memorial design with United States of America across the top, E pluribus unum above the building, and 1 cent at the bottom. The auctioned specimen showed dark, almost black patches with scratches and overall wear, but the distinctive alloy revealed itself through metallurgical testing. Even though its surface was far from perfect, collectors recognized its significance as one of fewer than 10 confirmed examples struck on experimental blanks that year. This combination of a pivotal year, off-metal strike, and extremely low survival gives the coin immense numismatic appeal. For collectors, the takeaway is clear. Don't dismiss a penny because it looks dirty, light, or odd. Transitional or experimental planchet errors are some of the most elusive and valuable finds in modern U.S. coinage. If a 1965 cent feels lighter, displays an unusual tone, or otherwise stands out, it's worth weighing or testing. Authentication can turn what seems like pocket change into a major prize.